Hi, art historians. Welcome back. We are in week 1, module 2, unit 2. And what we're going to be learning about is the later half of the Byzantine Empire. So the title of this unit's materials is module 2, Byzantium part 1 and 2. We are now on Byzantium 2, which is 2.04 late Byzantium. There are 5 core works for this unit and 2 supplemental works. The core works range in date from around the 11th century to the 14th century CE. And we are still dealing with the Byzantine Empire, which, as you now know, they ruled in the lands around the Mediterranean Sea, and this included Italy, Greece, Turkey, as well as parts of North Africa and the Middle East. So our architectural pieces we're going to be looking at include St. Mark's Basilica, as well as the Chura Monastery, and our smaller scale works include the Vita icon of St. Nicholas. We also have the Deesis, and we have the icon with the Triumph of Orthodoxy. Now, your supplemental works include the Plunder of War and the Horses of San Marco, as well as the Byzantine Griffin panel. So some things to note about this era. In terms of St. Mark's, you'll see 2 pieces up here, one in the core and one in supplemental, but St. Mark's is actually in Venice, so I have had the joy of being able to visit in August of 2019. I saw St. Mark's Basilica. I wasn't able to enter it at the time. I didn't have enough time in my planning, but I wish I would have. The outside of the basilica is really, really beautiful, and it is right next to St. Mark's Square, which is probably one of the more popular touristy areas of Venice. If anyone's ever been, you know how hard it was to get your way through all the crowds and birds and people eating gelato and stuff. But it is a really beautiful area. Venice is very, very cool and unique. The horses have a really interesting history in terms of who made them and how they got to where they are, so definitely take a look at that if you have the time for your supplemental explorations. When we think of the word deesis, I want to clarify on what that actually means. So in Greek, it means entreaty, which suggests an act of pleading, of asking, of begging. So you're essentially going to Christ as the deesis and begging for forgiveness and for, the expulsion of sins. And so usually when we see deesis, he's a little bit more serious. So there is an image of him in the Hagia Sophia as well that was covered up due to iconoclasm that has now been revealed. A copy of that is also in the Met. But essentially when we do see Jesus, or I don't know, I call him JC. When we see him in this deesis role, he's usually very serious. So for example, in Hagia Sophia, he is very solemn face. He usually holds the Bible in one hand and has some sort of conveyance of a message with his other hand. You can think of these similar to what we see in mudras in Buddhism and Hinduism, where the hand is a symbol of something. And so usually he'll have 2 fingers up, which is like an indication of prayer, and we have him holding his book. JC is often shown with Virgin Mary and John the Baptist, or J the B as I like to abbreviate. Very long names this time. And so that's really what is encapsulated with with that deesis image. So I hope you enjoy learning about the rest of the Byzantine Empire. We move on next to the Ottoman Empire and a little bit more about the medieval world before jumping right into the Renaissance. So stay tuned and have fun. Bye, everyone.